And that's when I decided I'm going to murder my mother.
But I didn't feel that I had to face what I had done ever.
He killed 33 times.
I'm the king, man. I decide who does what and where they do it at.
So next time you see me, I will kill you.
It's not good, then whatever. But yeah.
You get what you get. You don't throw a fit.
Okay, I don't know what that means. I've never heard that before.
I work with kids, man. I say it a lot.
Which is weird because you're doing this episode about the government and how they're our reptilian overlords, and you work with children every day.
Well, I'm just trying to properly shape the minds of the youth.
The youth of America.
Yeah, absolutely.
But I am really glad you're going to be on the podcast now because it's going to be really fun.
Yeah, I think so.
All right. So let's get into this then, yeah?
Right on.
All right. So, hey guys, and welcome to the Mason Jar Chronicles. I'm Corey, and I'm joined by our brand new host, Johnny. I'm not going to say his last name for you guys, though.
Hello. Yeah, I'm a man of mystery. I guess we were doing this a few years ago. Just
yeah,
for
like 2
fun.
years ago or so.
Yeah, nothing serious. Nothing was published. It was just.
We didn't even have a microphone. We just had like the computers. And
just a few hours of us talking to each other because we didn't have any other friends.
That's all we did.
Yeah. No, I thought this would be interesting to get back into. Simply just, my background's in education. I know little about conspiracy theories, but I definitely enjoy entertaining them.
And that's why I'm here, so that I can yell at all of you guys about conspiracies, because I get pretty heated during these conversations.
Yeah, I feel like you're going to be teaching all of us, really.
I am. That's what I'm here for. I'm shaping the minds of the youth.
Right.
And the 20-year-olds who are listening to this.
Yeah.
But yeah, like Johnny said, he was originally supposed to do the show when it started, but he had like some actual scheduling conflicts. And like, so it just didn't sync up right. And then Elsa was filling in these last couple episodes because she was just helping me out, because it would have been pretty boring to just listen to me fucking talk by myself for the whole time. So just listen to me for 30 minutes. But yeah, like Johnny said, we did this like 2 years ago just for, I don't even know. I think I just came into the room and was like, hey man, let's do a podcast. And you're like, sure, I'm not doing anything, so let's do it. And we had no microphone, nothing. We just sat down at a table and started talking about nothing, and we've come a long way. We've got $30 microphones now, and
hey, it's a step
the
forward.
Show's underway. Yeah, man, we got microphones now, so it's all good. But anyway, today we're getting into one of my top 5 favorite conspiracies of all time, and that is Reptilian Overlords. So, I mean, if you have a tinfoil hat next to you, I'd put it on now, because you're definitely going to fucking need it for this.
Yeah, I'm wearing mine.
I'm wearing mine also. But we know that the government's up to some crazy shit behind closed doors and in their black project parties and stuff like that. Child prostitution, human sacrifice, things of that nature, But who's really running the show, Is it Trump now? Or was it Obama whenever he was in office? Or were they being controlled by an ancient extraterrestrial reptilian humanoid from the star Alpha Draconis in the Draco constellation? Probably the latter. Probably the reptilians were doing it.
It's got to be. It's a bulletproof.
It's an airtight argument.
Absolutely.
Airtight argument.
To really get into this, we have to know the purpose of these reptilians. They came here millions of years ago. They didn't just trick us into doing things. They came here to enslave the human race. They came in, they interbred with humans, not physically, but they altered our coding, our DNA, which forced us to use half of our brain power, which makes us easier to control, which is what they want. They want to enslave the human race, so they altered our DNA.
That's really repetitive. I wish I would have read over that before we started doing this.
No, I think it's informative. I felt like it was...
We're just bringing it home is what we're doing.
Right.
We're bringing it home.
So basically, and this is for me as well. So yeah, they altered our DNA. They poisoned our food and our water to make us lazy, less likely to revolt. They keep us distracted with media, social media, and politics.
Right, because like if you think about it, what is literally everybody we know, including myself, we're always on our phones. We're always engaged in some sort of social media for the most part. I mean,
Right. No, we're zombies for sure.
Yeah. Everybody's distracted by politics and with whatever fucking Kim Kardashian's doing today, you know, and that's what they want. They want us to be distracted so they can do all these underground secret society bullshit to basically create the New World Order, and that's what they're trying to do. But when they did infiltrate our DNA, they didn't just stop there. The human-reptile hybrids were able to gain power in the ancient civilizations such as Sumer, Babylon, and Mesopotamia. And as time went on, they spread across the earth and became the royal families that we know today. Like, I think it's Queen Elizabeth III is thought to be a reptilian humanoid.
I mean, I can see the resemblance.
It makes perfect sense, honestly. I mean, it's a royal family. I mean, all they do is bang each other and create their bloodlines. So, I mean, if they're not reptiles, they're something fucked up. Gotta be.
Right. I'm surprised there's not a parade for that on television yet.
Exactly. Speaking of parades, go Astros, right, guys? Because they won the World Series.
Oh, yeah. That was awesome.
Yeah,
that was
go
a good
Astros.
Finish. It was extremely
Fuck the
strong
Dodgers.
Finish. Yeah, I mean, I didn't have a dog in the fight. I'm a Rangers fan. We had a shit season. But
Yep, you guys did not make the cut.
it was good to see history for sure.
Yeah, definitely. And I think Houston really needed the win, too, because, you know, the hurricane and all that shit that happened. I mean, I don't think it was thrown. Like, I don't think they won because of all that. I think that gave them, like, the motivation to win.
Oh, yeah, they had they wanted it more. You know?
I do
and
think
it clearly
that
showed in Game 7.
I do think Game 6, though, they want everybody, like, the MLB wanted the Dodgers to win. I think that one was rigged so that there would be a Game 7, more stadium money, more fucking concession money, all that kind of shit. You know, more advertisement. You know, everything's a conspiracy.
Yeah, if you can make Game 7, why not?
Why not make some more money?
But I also like to believe that. I mean, because I love anything competitive. If you're playing for points, I'm in. So at the same time, I appreciate the purity. You know, it's a shame to find out if anyone's throwing a game or just not playing to their best ability,
just to get more money out of something.
So
it's fucked up.
Yeah, I mean, it's awesome when you have a Game 7 in anything, but yeah, man, if you can sweep them, that's cool too. You know?
Yeah, that would have been great if they would have won Game 6. That would have been cool. You know?
Yeah.
But it's cool. You know, whatever, they won anyway. Dodgers walked home with poopy pants, so whatever.
Oh,
Don't
man.
care.
Yeah. Poopy pants.
They were really doo-doo pants.
It's a good thing they didn't have to walk far.
Yeah, because, you know, they were home already.
Yeah.
But okay, let's get back into this. So, they spread across the earth, became the royal families, and with the reptilians being in all parts of the world, they basically created a global prison that we don't even realize we're in. Because when they did this, they drew up the country lines, which leads to endless war and conflict. Because everybody's always fighting over land and borders and fucking Donald Trump and Mexico and all this bullshit. And that doesn't even include the war dogs in politics, who are gaining just enormous amounts of wealth that, like, people like us really can't even comprehend. And they're doing it off the backs of dead soldiers, which, I mean, that's fucked up for a lot of reasons, because I'm a veteran, Johnny's a veteran, and people make money off of war, and that's the government. It's fucked up.
I mean, yeah, there's a lot of instances where I've certainly felt like a pawn.
Oh, yeah, all the time.
But yeah, it's as far as a sacrifice, it's interesting to think that there's a lizard person just kind of
calling the shots,
marionetting. You know, I mean, it's basically like Greek mythology. And I was, I was thinking this as I started getting into David Icke, and it just, the whole idea that surrounds this whole idea of lizard people. It sounds like a ploy for once Christianity starts to buckle and, more and more individuals are steering away from it. It's a last measure of control. Like, it's like a plan they wrote a long time ago and they stuck with it, and that's why it sounds so fucking ridiculous.
That's why it sounds crazy now. Because, I mean, if you think about it, I mean, Christianity is insane.
Right, but it's
crazy.
It's
a way to keep order.
Right, absolutely. I mean, it's my opinion.
It's like be good or you go to hell. It's a way to create order, same as, with the reptilian conspiracy. It's a way to create order for us to fall in line and be a part of, the Matrix.
Right.
We're getting real deep. We're going down the fucking rabbit hole right now. And that's kind of how I felt doing all this research, is that I was going into a big rabbit hole because one thing led me to another thing, and then that led me to something else. And, it's like when you're on the internet at 4 a.m. and you end up watching videos and you don't know how you got there.
Right. No. And that's basically the only place I've found him is YouTube, and then, David Icke's website, which I don't know if you checked out any of his other videos, like aside from Reptilian.
Oh, dude,
Humanoids.
There's some that I couldn't watch all the way through, just because it's so bonkers.
Even his articles, they're not even like. It'll be 2 or 3, maybe like extremely short paragraphs of just words of insanity.
Just like it's like a man with dementia,
right,
writing a book for you.
Well, it's no different. I'm sitting here thinking as I'm watching a presentation of sorts. These people spend how much money to sit and listen to this crazy old man just walk back and forth on a stage.
And dude, and he did you watch any of the videos of him giving his presentations?
Oh yeah, absolutely, yeah.
It's crazy.
His
dude.
PowerPoints are very elementary.
Yeah.
No, he's got a huge following.
A lot of clip art.
Sells a lot of books.
A lot of clip art.
Yeah, there's a lot of clip art.
A lot of clip art. But yeah, I think let's go ahead and get this out of the way. I don't believe that there are 5 to 12 foot tall blood drinking lizards running the government. I think there's a variation of that running the government. Right.
Well, let's look at David Icke for a second. He started as an athlete. He played football, which I believe is soccer in England, where he's from.
I don't know. I was thinking that because when
rugby.
I was looking at the article, it said football, like FOOT, and usually, well, I guess it's still spelled the same, but in Mexico, it's FUT, football, whatever.
True.
I don't know. Let's just go with soccer. That sounds right. I don't think they play a lot of football in England, do they?
Well, he didn't play a lot of anything because he ended up getting rheumatoid arthritis in his right hand, I believe.
Saw that coming.
Which is, to me, like anytime I watch a documentary with him in it, I get stuck looking at his hand, and it resembles that of an iguana.
Maybe he's a lizard.
Yeah, maybe he does know because
he was abducted.
Yeah, he's from that side.
Maybe so, man. Who knows?
But yeah, so after that, he got into broadcasting, and then eventually, what was it? I don't know the name of it was the name of a British show, but the one where he walked out in a track suit and claimed he was the Messiah and all that.
Oh shit, I can't remember the name of the show, but yeah, it was after. So we're getting ahead. So he was fired from BBC because of some tax issues.
Right.
Nothing I found could tell me what the tax issues were. I dug, but I couldn't really find anything. He later got involved in the Green Party, and around this time he claimed to feel a presence around him. And then this presence led him on a spiritual journey, just like every white college girl who has dreadlocks. On a spiritual journey. So yeah, this is when he went back to England, quit politics, and this is when he made the appearance on TV. And he was basically telling them that the world was going to end. He was the Messiah, and everybody should follow him. And he was laughed off the stage.
Right.
Obviously. I mean, what did he think was going to happen?
I mean, he could have just come out and been normal. The tracksuit alone would have gotten him some negative attention.
Yeah, he was. I think, if I remember right, it was like a teal blue tracksuit.
Right, but as far as a spiritual journey, man, this was the 70s, 80s. There was a lot of LSD.
Yeah. A lot of that going on,
and a lot of shitty English rock.
Yeah, that might have had something to do with it, really.
Oh, probably,
Maybe he was just high whenever he heard the voices, and then he said it on TV, so he had to just run with it.
Yeah, no, it started out as an innocent, fun night at the CBGB.
And then it just ended up, he's selling 1 million books and now he's a millionaire. So,
Yeah.
I mean, follow your dreams, guys. Don't give up. And,
It keeps his lights on, certainly.
Yeah, definitely. And if you do some drugs in the process, then I guess, that's fine. You're young still.
Right. No, he did it. He's accomplished a lot as far as it's almost like it makes me think of like the transformation of Bruce Jenner.
Yeah, to Caitlyn Jenner.
Yeah.
I feel like she's definitely like more of an icon now because I didn't really know anything about Bruce Jenner before all this happened.
I mean, he was on the Wheaties box. He was an Olympian.
Yeah.
But
he was a lawyer too, wasn't he?
No, that was the Kardashians. That was their original, because he wasn't their biological father.
That's right. I knew that there was some relation.
Yeah, Kardashian. He's the one that helped represent OJ.
Yeah, and then OJ banged his wife, so that's cool too.
Yeah. I don't know that whole story, but it sounds about
I don't
right.
either.
It sounds like something OJ would do. He's kind of an asshole.
I mean, he did kill his wife. If you subscribe to that theory, but I don't really care about the Kardashians in any sort of way. So
yeah, it's more about lizard people.
Yeah, it's more about lizard people. So, like we said, to just put David Icke in a smaller bag, though, he's a British conspiracy theorist who says blood-drinking reptilian humanoids are behind the controls over the global conspiracy of all of humanity. And he might be right. Who knows? He could be right. He might be right. I mean, if nothing ever happens, we have no way of knowing that he's right.
Right. No, I'm an agnostic lizard believer. I haven't seen proof.
But if there was proof, count me in. Right.
No, I mean, if anyone said, hey, come around this corner with me, there's a lizard person, I'm going to check it out.
I would be skeptical. I would be reserved a little bit about going around the corner just because it seems sketchy.
I'm expecting a mugging or a guy in a lizard costume.
The last thing I would expect is a real life 12-foot tall.
Absolutely not.
Blood-drinking reptilian who tells me he's controlling the government.
Because I have no prior knowledge that tells me that exists.
That would be a first for me, though, if I saw that. I've never seen that before. I don't think many people have.
Well, and that's my thing. It's like, has David Icke even... I mean, when he talks about the Long Rock, and I don't know if I'm getting ahead, but he basically refers to the Long... Like, he gives a tour of it, shows, like, where they do sacrifices.
You're talking about the Vice interview, right?
Yes.
Yeah, where he took him up the trail and they said, like, there's human sacrifice.
But as he's talking about it, he's like, yeah, I know a guy that knows a guy that was here. Like, they saw it. It's like, how much interaction does David Icke actually have?
These are secondhand, claims.
And he's, and with such conviction.
But that's why it's conspiracy theory. Like, it's just...
But to him, it's
nonsense. Fact. Yeah, he lives his life by this. Like,
he even says at
David
one point...
Icke.
Yeah, in an interview, he's like, well, it's true. I wrote a book about it. It's a documentary. It's got to be...
That's like saying my journal is truth.
Yeah.
There's proof because I wrote it down.
No, it's
not proof.
It's documented, so it's official.
That's like recording your own documentary and then using that as a source on a college paper. Like, no, you just made it up.
Right. Or just going to an interview just saying, well, I would have a degree, but they were teaching me things that I already knew.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like, well, you got to have that on...
So I do have a degree now because I knew these things already.
Yeah, I actually wrote out a degree and put my name on it. So when do I start?
When do I start my job here at this firm?
Yeah. So do I take your job or...
You know what? I'll come back. Give it some time. I'm going to run out. I'll be right back.
But I guess...
Let me know what you think.
Right. But I guess none of that even happens in a world where... humanoids are CEOs and
they are. They're CEOs, and CEOs are all psychopaths.
They're running Jimmy Johns and shit.
Yep, shooting lions like Jimmy John.
Well, I mean, I guess it adds up, food chain.
I mean, everything connects, and we're going to see that in a minute. That everything connects again with the Illuminati and the lizard people and all that kind of stuff. But he's making some pretty hefty claims on who's involved with these reptilians. Now, we're all controlled by them. They rule basically every aspect of our life. But who are the ones that are physically controlled by them? David Icke claims that George W. Bush, yes, the same one that did 9/11 and orchestrated that. So technically, are the reptilians to blame for 9/11?
Absolutely.
Maybe so. Queen Elizabeth III, Hillary and Bill Clinton, both of them are apparently controlled by the reptilians. And Henry Kissinger and Bob Hope are all directly involved with the Reptilian Overlords. And I'm sure there's just a slew of other people that are involved. Like probably, I would say at least hundreds more people that are involved.
Oh, absolutely.
With these reptilians. But these are just like big name people that I guess he could throw out and get some attention.
Yeah, I mean, we're not even, we haven't even gotten to Jared from Subway, you know?
We're not even scratching the surface yet.
No.
You know? Ronald McDonald, fucking reptilian.
Yeah, there's a reason.
You guys didn't know that?
There's a reason he lost TV time.
There's a reason for the makeup. But like I said, these are pretty staggering claims to make. I mean, 2 ex-presidents being directly involved with reptilians. I mean, what's next? They're hiding aliens from us. They're lying to us. They don't have a prostitution or a child prostitution sex ring going on in D.C. and all over the world that may or may not be involved directly tied to the Franklin cover-up. Come on.
And I want to.
The government's here for us.
Right,
they protect us.
Right, but where?
Right?
I'd like to know where the information on this prostitution ring is even coming from.
Oh, look up the Franklin cover-up.
The Franklin cover-up.
Yeah, basically it's about a guy who ran a credit firm who was involved in a lot of political dealings.
Okay.
And he had dirt on a lot of people, so he was able to do basically whatever he wanted and get away with it. And he had like, you got to look it up. I can't. It's a lot to go into.
So he was allowed to do whatever he wanted, and he wanted to
bang children.
Yeah. Okay. I mean, the list is endless. I mean, his possibilities are, and that's where he stopped.
Anything. Anything.
That's what he landed on, huh?
I mean, anything past that. I mean, you know,
wow.
Who are you?
So how long did this go on?
Quite a few years. I mean, it's probably still going on. I mean, look at all the stuff in Hollywood coming out about pedophile rings and child prostitution.
Well,
and stuff. You think the global elite aren't involved in some way of that? I mean,
or people just suck sometimes.
Yeah, people are... Dude, look up the Franklin cover-up and you'll see that people are shitty.
I mean, and money does give you power. Even if that power is non-existent sometimes. I mean, take...
The illusion of power.
Right. I mean, who knows? Like, a guy with, you know, a fat pocket is able to... Or feels as if he is able to just demand whatever he wants. Whether it's something off the lunch menu or a girl that walks into the room.
Exactly. If you have a lot of money, typically... You're a douchebag for the most part.
Well, and you know, Trump displays the same behavior. You know,
he's the douchebag.
He is convinced he has been in a situation or a position for a long time that allows him to just behave the way he does, and it's.
I wouldn't be surprised if Donald Trump is out there banging kids and stuff. You know, when he's on the jet or something, when he's on Air Force One.
You know, if you were to take his wig and put it on an iguana, I don't think it would look weird.
I don't think it would look very much different. They have the same chin for sure. The same turkey neck.
They
for
do.
Sure.
They do have that.
Yeah, I think that, you know, someone with Photoshop skills out there should definitely run that and see, you know, where you come out on the other side with it.
I might be mistaken, but I hear that iguanas also do not like prisoners of war.
I feel that they also hate people that were captured.
Yeah. Word is that they're losers.
So if there's any iguanas listening right now, get the fuck off this podcast because you're not welcome here.
Yeah, not cool, man.
So let's get back to the podcast.
Yeah. This is fun.
Let's get into there's a few different races. Of reptilians, kind of the same as we have.
So yes, reptilians also have different races, same as we do, but have pretty different appearances, obviously.
I mean, they're lizards.
They look a little different. But before we do that, I think we should cover the different breeds of reptilians. There are basically 2, crossbreeds and full breeds. Pretty
saw that one coming.
Right. Pretty self-explanatory on the surface.
Kind of like dogs. There's mixed and there's full breeds. You know, it's sort of the same thing.
Right. What is a full breed? You know, I mean, if they've been around longer than we have and we don't have any full breeds left, I mean, doesn't that sound kind of... But
sounds a little sketch.
Right. So the reptilians aren't so simple. With crossbreeds, they do not know they are reptilians. They are being controlled from the lower fourth dimensions to push the reptilian agenda known as the New World Order. Same as the Illuminati.
Yep.
Full breeds
Sounds right.
Right. And then you have full breeds, which are aware that they're reptilians and can shapeshift whenever they choose. But their human form is not them physically changing. It's more of a series of vibrations that make us see what they want us to see, which is, typically a human, not a reptile. Mm-hmm. And that's why reptilians can be 5 to 12 feet tall as their reptilians form, and a normal height in their human form.
I think it's funny that they can't physically shapeshift because they're supposed to be this all-powerful creature.
Yeah, you're limited, bro. Like, not cool.
You're limited right now? Like, I mean, come on. You couldn't just add that to your DNA. You altered ours. I mean, you couldn't just, add something to yours. But, whatever.
Yeah, I thought I was going to walk around the corner and be impressed. But
you're just a lizard person, so I'm not impressed. Give me my fucking money back.
Yeah.
So there's some speculation in the name of the reptilian races. Some articles I read have them listed as Dracos, and some sources have Draco Prime Reptoids. But the consistent source has them as Draco Prime Reptoids for one of the races that I was finding. But among the races, there's also the Reptoids. And now keep up, because this is going to get a little confusing here because we say reptoids, reptilian, it gets a little confusing. The reptoids are bipedal reptoids, so they walk on 2 feet just like we do, not like iguanas, walking around on 4 legs. But reptilians range from 5.5 to 9 feet in height. They have a lean, firm body with powerful arms and legs, much like myself. They have long arms with 3 long fingers and an opposable thumb, just like we do. Their feet have 3 toes and 1 recessed fourth that is toward the backside of their ankle. The claws are short and blunt. They do not have teats on their upper torso. Those are nipples, in case you guys didn't know what teats were. On their upper torso, nor do they have a navel. Do they come from eggs, you think? I'm assuming they come from eggs if they're reptiles.
Lizards come from eggs. Why wouldn't... Which makes this whole thing so much more complicated.
It's super confusing. It's so complicated because they come from eggs, but... I don't know, man. Do they start out as kids? Do they have to learn to control minds? Do they have like a school like Hogwarts? I never thought about this while doing all this research.
I can't get past the gestation period. So if you're if you're a crossbreed, are you an egg? Like what? I don't understand.
The crossbreeds, they're human, but they're controlled by the reptoids. So they're controlled from the lower 4th dimension.
They're like demigods.
They're like, what did you say earlier? It's like Jason Bourne. It's like MK Ultra.
Right. They're sleeper cells.
Yeah, except they're awakened by the reptoids when they have an agenda to push.
Right.
So they don't have a navel, which I guess assumes they come from eggs, because if you have a navel, then you had an umbilical cord. That's how it works, right?
Right, yeah. No, that's the source of nutrients, I believe.
That's basic...
So yeah, if you don't have... it's an egg, man.
They had to come from eggs.
They're fucking egg people.
They're fucking egg lizard people. So
I wonder if it's as good as an ostrich egg.
I wouldn't want to eat it. I know that, because what if you
I don't know, man. It's pretty exotic.
You got to find one though.
Well, yeah. I mean, that's the first challenge.
That's really the only challenge, is finding it. Once you find it, I mean, you're good to go.
Yeah,
just get out of there.
Don't start salivating just yet.
You got to find it, and it's hard to find. I guarantee it. I mean, you're going to need a spaceship for sure.
Well, don't they live underground on Earth, right? And then they travel back and forth to...
I would doubt they would lay their eggs here, though. Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, it's plausible. I mean, look what turtles do. I mean, they crawl onto the beach into dangerous territories and leave their eggs, hoping for the best.
And then they're like, all right, later, find your way back to the ocean.
Right. And then, turn into... weird glow alien fish.
But if reptiles are anything, I guess they are reptiles, so they are kind of like They are lizards and snakes. Maybe the same thought process. I don't know, but their brain has to be more evolved. Maybe they care more for their young, kind of like mammals do.
I'm not qualified to talk about the brain capacity of a fucking lizard, so I don't.
If I had to put money on it, I would say that they lay their eggs in the Draco star constellation, and then they travel here when they're old enough, and they've mastered mind control.
Well, yeah. Well, because they still don't have a language, do they? Like, they don't speak.
They speak.
Do they?
I think. I said that with confidence, and then I realized I have nothing to back it up. You know, they have to talk.
I mean, Aquaman spoke, and it's basically.
I mean, Hillary Clinton talks, and she's a reptile, so.
Right, shapeshifter. Okay.
Shapeshifter, yeah.
But
we don't see Hillary Clinton.
Well,
we see a series of vibrations.
But she's actually a 5 to 12 foot reptilian creature on a podium.
And so is Bill Clinton.
That's crazy. Like, I mean,
it's almost unheard of. It's so crazy.
Well, I mean, they do it every 4 years, so not necessarily, but it's. Think about the campaign trail. Like, you're doing so much FaceTime.
Yep, and you got to shapeshift. It's a lot of work to be a reptilian humanoid. I mean,
the
it's
whole
not
country. Like, what if we lose Wi-Fi all the time? What if their vibrations like cut out? You know, I mean, we're talking longer distances. There should be wider gaps of disconnect. Mm-hmm. There's not a flaw in their system.
I mean, you don't just wake up, get out of bed, clock in, and you're a reptile. It's work, dude. You got to go in there. You got to make these vibrations. You got to become Hillary Clinton.
Is that a union job? Like, is that a?
I think they pay some form of union dues, but they have a different name for it. I would assume that you don't just get hired on. I mean, you probably have to know somebody.
It would be comforting to know that the Queen of England is part of a union.
She's just one of us.
Yeah.
Fuck, I don't even remember what I was saying. The navel. So they have scaled skin. It's usually greenish brown in color. So you guys can picture where we're going here. Some also have coffee-colored scales that have a dark green colored rims. The scales on their backs, thighs, and upper arms are usually larger than the other ones. Their hands, abdomen, and face are covered with smaller scales, allowing more flexibility. So, moving around and everything like that.
Scales.
They have
typical
scales. You guys know how scales work.
Yeah.
I just want to create a mental picture here because I mean, I guess you could just Google it. What are we even here for? They can just Google all this stuff.
Because it's so we can talk to each other more.
It's what it is. So we can become better friends.
We're not doing this for anyone else.
We're not even recording right now.
Oh shit! I gotta hit mine. Yeah, we're gonna have to start over, man.
So they have wide, lipless mouths, and the majority of them are reported to have differentiated type of definition teeth, including canines. And shit, I didn't realize how much fucking description there was on this.
I'm still stuck at lipless mouths. Let's.
So they're white girls.
Well, I mean, hey, white girls are definitely coming up as far as body.
As far
features.
as lips go, I guess.
But no, I'm just trying to think. Like, is it like a Courtney? I think it's like a Courtney Fox mouth,
I think it's like this. Okay. You guys can't see it, but I'm showing him what I think it looks like. It's kind of like if you grab the sides of your lip and pull it to your cheeks.
Right.
Kind of like that.
It looked good. I'm glad I got to see it.
Yeah, I wish you guys could see it. Maybe I'll post it on Twitter later. I don't know.
It looks like a fish mouth. You guys will
see it that way.
It's like a fish mouth.
Yeah. It's like a vagina, but sideways.
Okay.
That's the best way to describe it, I think.
Is it the best way to describe? I mean, it was an effective visual for sure.
It's a way to describe it.
Okay, got it.
All right. So reptoids have either large black eyes with vertical slit pupils or eyes that are white with flame-colored vertical slit pupils. Which I would rather see just the black eyes with the vertical slits instead of the white with flame color, because that'd be a little bit scarier, I think.
Right.
To be a little bit more terrifying around that corner of the alley there. Their heads are slightly conical in shape and have two bony ridges riding from their brow across their back sloping skull toward the back of their head. There appears to be no bridge between the reptoid's eyes, so I guess it's just like flat,
Right.
That's what that means, I guess. The Their nasal openings are at the end of a small flattened nose and are described as two small slits that slant upwards in a V formation. Some experiencers have reported seeing small openings where ears are expected to be, but no flesh folds extending from the side of the human head. This is very descriptive.
Well, no, I mean it's good. How? Because I'm sitting here thinking about the description and what I envision them looking like. Do they wear a spacesuit?
Like, you're thinking of aliens.
Well, no.
You're thinking of the Greys.
Well, no, because they do time travel, space travel. I mean, because they have to go back and forth to Death Star.
Yeah, well, okay, let's clarify what Death Star is. Death Star is David Icke's theory that the moon is hollow and the reptilians are controlling us from the moon, which is their type of own sort of Death Star. I've never seen Star Wars, so I don't really know a lot about it.
I've seen a couple, but
I'm not a fan of sci-fi, as I'm doing a reptilian humanoid podcast.
Right. I don't talk about things that aren't true.
I only talk about things that are completely proven and true. David Icke is... he's a smart man.
Brilliant. But yeah, no, Death Star. So if they're traveling in and out of our atmosphere, like they're given their anatomy makeup, how are they able to survive the all the science that's going on?
All the science.
Yeah,
how do they survive the science?
I just want to know, how are you getting through that layer of science?
If we could get Neil deGrasse Tyson on the show, I think he could definitely answer. He could clear some of this up for us. For sure.
Yeah. So I think that would be
I don't think he's
way.
I don't think he's a listener, though.
Yet.
I'm going to go out on a limb and say he's not a listener yet. Maybe this will be the one he listens to, and then he can hit us up and be on the show with us.
That'd be great.
I don't know if I'm going to go off topic here for a second. I don't know if I told anybody. I posted it on Twitter, but I reached out to Post Malone's manager to see if he would do the show with us, because he's into conspiracy theories and things like that. But the manager never emailed me back, which probably makes a lot of sense.
Well, maybe he's busy.
He is pretty busy. He's a busy guy.
Maybe you're on the list and he's just make his way down it.
Maybe. I mean, I hit him up on Twitter too, but he has a lot of followers, so I don't think he ever saw it.
I don't know, Post Malone seems like the type of character he would take the time out of his day.
He does.
He does seem like to answer
would.
every question.
I can't tell if you're patronizing me right now.
No, as I was saying it, I realized that it sounded sarcastic as shit.
It did.
But it's
he does seem like the kind of guy who would want to do something like this if he had the time.
The very few interviews that I've seen with him, I like his persona. Yeah,
he seems like a chill dude.
Down to earth, guy that likes to just make everybody around him feel good.
He likes to have a good time.
Yeah. I mean,
he's here for a good time, not a long time.
Not a long time. Unless it's a really good time, and then you might.
Maybe then I'll take some vitamins and stay here for a while.
Yeah.
But until then, I'm not taking any fucking vitamins or going to the doctor. So reptilian beings obviously have no facial hair or body hair, just like lizards. I'm not going to go through this entire description. When I put all this in here, I didn't realize how descriptive it really is.
Let's just jump ahead to the genitalia. How about that?
Yeah, let's jump to the genitalia. Yeah, let's get to that.
I mean, everybody knows that lizards have tails. They don't have facial hair.
That's all pretty, you know that. They're reptiles.
Yeah.
So their genitalia are concealed within a vertical slit located at the base of the torso. In the case of women who claim to have experienced sexual encounters with reptoids, this is an experience that seems more physiological than physical. The male reptoids are described as having a penis that is lacking a soft, sacked scrotum. So they don't have any balls. Right? That's what that means. They don't have any balls.
Right, yeah. I mean, I've never seen a lizard with balls, so that makes sense.
Me either. I'm assuming they don't have any, because these guys don't have any.
And I'm usually turning over every lizard that I come across, too, so...
I'm flipping them over and I'm looking for their dicks.
No, I've been doing extensive field research for a while now.
Just to find out if lizards have dicks or not.
Yeah, just a social experiment.
Nothing to really be alarmed about. So, where the scrotum sac is located on a human, the reptilian male apparently has a firm muscular bulge leading from the base of the penis to the underside of the torso. So his taint is just like another penis in a Speedo. That's what it sounds like.
A Speedo.
You know, like a Speedo, when the dude wears a Speedo, like he has a dick bulge.
Yeah, kind of like a Ken Barbie bulge.
Yeah, he has the bulge. It sounds like that's what's in his, his gooch there.
Right. He's so they appear asexual, but there are male and females, I guess.
No, they have dicks.
Yeah, I'm just picturing a naked Ken Barbie doll now, like
a scaly dick. I can't imagine it's very pleasurable. I mean, a scaly dick would not feel good.
Yeah, would it be worse than being mounted by a rooster?
I've never seen a rooster penis, so I can't really.
No, but like you've got to look at a chicken's back and feel for her. You know, it's like, dude, she's been plucked dry.
Yeah, they just latch on. It's kind of like. I mean, there's a lot of rape going on in the animal kingdom.
Well, as far as like unpleasant, I mean, it's consensual. It just doesn't feel the best.
No, yeah.
Okay.
But I mean, sex can be like that sometimes too, guys,
What was it?
People are into some weird stuff.
What was it? Was it Conehead? Coneheads, when they had like the excruciating pain.
I haven't seen that movie in probably like 15 years.
Like that's why, like it was strictly for breeding purposes. You didn't do it for fun.
It's kind of like Ed Gein's mom and dad. They literally banged just to have kids, and that was it. And there was no pleasure involved.
Right. This is not.
I don't think she ever had an orgasm her entire life.
Well, that's not the purpose.
No, the purpose is to have babies.
Yeah, you plant your seed and you get off of me.
But only if you're married, guys.
Right.
No premarital sex. God's watching, and so are the reptiles.
So, before we jump into the Dracos, look, I'd like you to describe that a little more to me.
Describe what?
As far as like the Dracos look.
So there's two different Dracos. There's the Dracos, and then there's the what is it? There's the Draco Prime Reptoids. So the Draco Prime Reptoids have so individuals that have reported Draco contact said that there were instances where another Draco with white powdery scales approached and gave the others instructions. And in every one of these cases, the greenish-brown Dracos appeared to be submissive and highly respectful towards those with white scales. Now, this is the Draco that I read in another article. It didn't say Draco Prime Reptoids, but it said that the Dracos are winged albino reptiles. And then the regular Dracos are just they have similar aspects, but not entirely. The Draco Reptoids usually standing 7 to 12 feet tall and have been reported to be the royal elitists of the reptoid hierarchy. They're seen far less often, kind of like, the president. He has his henchmen or whatever you want to call them, the senators or whatever. And the Dracos are similar in appearance to the reptoid, but they have distinct physical differences. Dracos have wings, which is...
See, that's a curveball.
It's pretty cool.
It's
pretty cool. They're like dragons.
Basically. So you're no longer a lizard.
Well, technically a dragon is still a lizard, I would say. It's definitely still a reptile.
Well, yeah. I guess the same...
I don't watch Game of Thrones, so I don't know.
Oh, I've never seen an episode of that.
I want to watch it, but I'm not paying for HBO just to watch that show. Like, come on, it's not... That can't be that good.
Yeah, if football's not on, I'm typically not watching TV.
No, I watch The Walking Dead, and that's about it.
If they had more zombies, I would definitely watch it more.
Yeah, it's like not even about the zombies anymore. It's about like all the people. But now they weaponize the zombies, which is kind of tight.
See, I wasn't aware of that.
Well, they don't give them weapons. They use them as a weapon. That's what I...
As far as they'll pick one zombie up and they'll hit another zombie. Like, what's going on?
No, okay, so say there's like a group that they're like against. They'll like.
Oh, zombies have cliques?
No. Like a person, like humans, and another human group have beef. The Rick's group will like blow up their gates and then like lead a bunch of zombies to their place, so the zombies take over the place.
It's pretty dirty.
Yeah, well, hey, you got to get dirty when you're dealing with Negan and the Saviors. So.
I suppose.
I don't want to give any spoilers away.
Yeah, I might decide to get back into it, but
you should.
Yeah,
man.
I just
it gets
feel like
pretty intense.
If there was more zombies blowing up, I could get into that.
Yeah, that's pretty cool. I mean, they blow up quite a few still.
Okay, yeah, I'll have to check that back out.
But back to these dragons, I think dragons are still technically lizards. They're just big lizards.
Right. Okay.
I mean, lions are still considered cats. They're just big cats.
Right. It's just a different breed.
But then again, lions don't have wings, so.
Well, in some stories they do.
Do they?
I believe. I don't know what they're called.
Didn't the lion in Wizard of Oz have wings?
No, but I think was it Aldous? No. What was the lion's name in Chronicles of Narnia?
Fuck, I have no idea.
I'm pretty sure there was some scene where he flew away or some shit.
I've seen a lion fly in some kind of
I'm
movie
pretty
before.
sure I've seen as many lions fly as I have pigs. So
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely a clear relation between a gecko and one of these advanced reptoids.
They're like cousins.
Yeah. So it says the wings are made of long, thin, bony spines or ribs that protrude out of their backs. The ribs are adjoined by flaps of leathery, blackish brown skin. The wings are usually in a retracted position. In some instances, such as reported by author John Keel of the Mothman Prophecies, the beings...
Fucking Mothman.
Yeah, the beings matching...
Very reliable source.
Right, no, check it out. Truefacts.com.
Very reliable source. You can't lie on the internet. So.
Yeah. The beings matching descriptions of the Draco have been seen to actually fly by use of their wings.
Obviously. That's what they're for.
Right. With the being's neck cranked downward upon spectators, the glowing red reflective eyes of a flying Draco would appear to be placed in the middle of their chest. So they've got eyes in the middle of their chest.
That's creepy as shit, though.
But it's kind of like a crane's neck. I guess it just kind of swoops downward.
I think they're
Or
looking
like a goose,
down
like a gooseneck.
and flying.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
It's creepy as shit now that I'm thinking about what it looks like.
Glowing red.
But
I mean,
I did see a picture when I was doing all this research. I did see a picture of a Draco, and their wings, it kind of looks like a cape, if you can picture that. It sort of looks like they're wearing a cape.
no, I'm just picturing a large lizard wearing a cape now.
That's what it looks like.
Like
a bipedal lizard wearing a cape.
But like a red, Superman cape.
Well, I mean, it says here that it's their leathery blackish brown skin. So it's a blackish brown cape.
Okay.
Gotta look at that perspective there, bud.
So more of like a Batman cape.
I'd say more like a Batman cape.
Okay.
But a lizard body.
Yeah. No, I can see that.
Yeah. Well, actually, it might be because in several contacts, people have seen reptilian-looking beings wearing capes draped over their shoulders and down their back. So maybe this was just a picture of one wearing a cape.
So walking on its hind legs wearing a cape, or
Yeah.
It was in flight wearing a cape.
I think it was on its legs wearing a cape.
Okay.
It was walking around wearing a cape.
Okay. Maybe it was like a was it like a trench coat, like something like Neo would wear?
There we again, back to the Matrix again.
Yeah, I mean, the attire matches.
The attire matches the craziness.
So what strikes eyewitnesses the most about the Draco beings is that they have horns.
Like the devil.
Yeah, that's kind of. I mean, that adds a new level of fear and
Truth.
Yeah. So
New level of truth.
yeah, these may be long, bony ridges that run back along their slightly conical heads, or they may also be actual horny protuberances that really, dude, you're gonna have all these fucking.
That's a weird choice of words.
Yeah. Basically, so it's basically like goat horns.
Yeah.
Like they're ribbed goat horns, which makes
Think
sense
of how you
because
think of,
that
like-
goes back to like Lucifer and that
Baphomets
whole
and stuff.
yeah, which is all connected.
Think of like a
to this.
modern image of Satan, and that's kind of what that's what you're seeing here.
Right.
But yeah, the Draco types appear to have a much more athletic build than the other reptilians. So I guess they're more ripped than the reptoids. Their upper torsos are extremely lean, and their neck muscles splay out from the base of their jaw to their shoulder blades. That's a weird image to picture.
Yeah, it just it makes me think of like the silhouette of the devil in This Is the End, and just how
Oh, yeah.
and just how muscular and just masculine he looks. Just
And he had a gigantic penis.
Just looming over Jonah Hill.
Yeah, exactly. Just banging him out.
So basically, these are like, are they related to Lucifer? Because we're getting into some appearances that resemble.
Well, I mean, the Illuminati, the modern Illuminati, is somewhat linked to Satanism. But what a lot of people don't understand about Satanism is Satanism isn't necessarily worshiping the devil. Satanism is more about, like, kind of like worshiping yourself, like believing in yourself. A lot of Satanists say that Satan is more of, like, I guess like a feeling or like a thought rather than a physical thing.
Right.
So they like to say that Satan is within all of us, which I usually say on the show anyway, because it irritates the shit out of Elsa.
Well, it's hard for me to believe in one if I don't believe in the other.
Exactly. And I mean, a lot of Satanists don't believe in hell either. They don't believe in the devil either. That's why they say Satan is more of, like, I'll get into it. I'll look into it some more. I can't remember the word they use, but it's more of like a feeling rather than a, like, person.
It sounds like a whole lot of
thing.
work just to be ironic.
Yeah, it does. It does sound like a lot of work to be ironic, but we should do an episode on Satanism. That'd be pretty fun.
Yeah. I could brush up on my Book of Satan.
Yeah, I got the Satanic Bible, so we'll look into that.
Yeah. Where are we at on time?
So we're at like 51 minutes or so. My timer got messed up, so I'm not 100% sure. But we're around like 50 minutes or so.
Right.
Now, we were going to go into how the Illuminati is linked to the reptilians, but I think it would be better to just save that. Because then, like, the Illuminati, that's a whole other rabbit hole to get into. So we're going to finish up here with... where we went over, like, the full breeds and crossbreeds earlier. There's one more race of reptoids, and that is the reptilian gray crossbreeds. So most of the reptilian gray crossbreeds are rather diminutive in size, so they're smaller. They're 4 to 4.5 feet in height, and they have oversized heads, large black eyes, vertical slit pupils, no ears, slight torsos, arms, and legs. Imagine those inflatable aliens that you win at, like, the state fair. Right. That's what it sounds like they look like. There's been reports of these creatures as having either 3 fingers with a 4th opposable or only 3 long fingers with no opposable 4th. They've been seen to have short claws and in some cases no claws at all. Their feet are usually covered by the material of their suit, but some experiencers have described their feet as short and stubby with no toes. What the fuck? No toes?
Like an elephant foot.
They still kind of have they still sort of have toes though, elephants.
It's like a nub. It's
a thing.
Like 3 or 4 nubs or something.
Yeah, I'm not sure. But amidst the various reptilian gray types, there is also a species that has a greenish tan skin, large almond-shaped eyes that are golden in color with a dark metallic green vertical slit pupil. They share the same basic physical construct as a gray entity and are usually seen wearing a one-piece suit that is the same color as their skin. So just imagine what you think like a little alien in a spacesuit looks like, and that's what it sounds like the reptilian gray types are.
There are a lot of similarities. No, like the whole time.
Quite a few.
When I'm, talking about one just reminds me of the other. I mean,
exactly. As
far as the cone heads, the...
Back to the cone heads.
Yeah, the advanced technology. I mean...
I think that about wraps up the reptilians. I mean... Believe it or not, as big of a conspiracy as this is, there's not a whole lot of information about it. You might credit that to the Illuminati and the secret government.
Or there's just a lack of information because it's shit.
Yeah. So like I said earlier, I don't think there's 12-foot tall lizard people running the government. I think there's a variation of that, but they're not lizards, they're not blood drinkers, and they're not 12 feet tall.
I feel like it would be my responsibility to seek help for you if you did feel that way.
Yes, if anyone is feeling like the government is run by 12-foot tall blood drinking reptilians, please contact us on Twitter and we will direct you to some sort of mental health facility because you're bonkers.
Start with an Advil, okay? You need to calm down.
Take a nap, maybe, and just wake up, see how you feel.
Yeah,
if you still feel like it's true, seek help.
Right, just sleep those ridiculous thoughts away.
Because that is just... David Icke he's a conspiracy theorist in every aspect of the word, for sure.
He's so far gone. And I mean,
another aspect, he's bonkers.
Yeah, in my opinion, I feel like everything he says is...
But I mean, even at this point, if he didn't believe it anymore, he has to keep believing it because it's his entire life.
Well, I don't know. I think that would bring on a new rise to fame if you just told everybody, "Nah, I was just messing with you."
He's like, I was just stoned for the last 20 years.
I think less people would think you were, a little out there just because you're like, nah, it was just an experiment and it lasted longer than I thought it would.
I made a shitload of money, though.
Yeah, and then he writes a book about that, and
he just keeps going with his fame. I mean, he's probably already got enough money to live on for the rest of his life anyway. He's like 65, so...
Yeah, I think he has like
does he got anyway?
A small, quaint apartment in England.
Yeah, from the documentary I saw, he has a very tiny apartment. He probably has a shitload of money in savings. Or he's super broke. I mean, who knows?
Well, no, I mean, he still sells books.
Millions of books.
I think 20.
As a matter of fact.
20-something?
Yeah, he has a shitload of books.
Yeah, no, he's got Alex Jones pays the bills, so...
And that dude's a fucking lunatic, so... We're not going to get into Alex Jones.
Yeah, that's another day.
I think that about wraps up the show.
Yeah, well, it's been fun.
Welcome back to Johnny, everybody. He's back with us, and he's not going anywhere this time.
Yeah, no, unless I'm feeling under the weather or, No,
lack of dedication.
Yeah, I'll be around. yeah.
Lack of dedication.
No, I'll be around. Between grad school, which is almost done, and work, I mean, I'm busy, but...
We have a very small window to do these shows, like, as far as linking up. Because, again, just like how Jessica and Derek and I aren't together in the same place, Johnny and I aren't in the same place either. So there's a very small window we have to, like...
That's right, yeah.
For our schedules to sync up for us to do this.
Opposite ends of Texas.
Yeah, pretty much. I'm not going to tell you guys where I'm at, though.
Which is basically 18 hours.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a pretty big spot.
Texas is fucking huge anyway, so...
Yeah. Well, that's another thing we could talk about eventually, but, I live in an area where the enforcer is big. So
what the fuck?
It's like white supremacists. But anyway, yeah, we can get into that later.
Yikes. Yeah, maybe we'll get into that on another episode. But that's it for the show today. If you guys did enjoy the show, make sure you subscribe on iTunes and download that shit so we can get a fucking paycheck out of this. I think we're going to have a sponsor coming up. Some dog leashes, something like that. I'm going to try to bring you guys the code next week if everything works out. But we are trying to get sponsors. I think we've hit our peak with listeners so far. We've kind of had a decent amount these past few weeks. So if you do like the show, subscribe, download the episodes. You can follow us on Twitter at MJC Podcast. You can follow me on Twitter and Instagram at How the Dogs Chill. Johnny's not too big on social media. Do you want to do
Not so much.
Your plug?
It just makes me look at my phone more.
Yeah, if you guys want to send anything his way, just send it on the podcast Twitter, and then I'll reach out to him with it.
I might put my email on there.
Yeah, we could do that, and then you guys can email us and tell us that we suck.
Yeah. I prefer saying whatever the hell I want with no way of people communicating with me.
Yeah, it's usually better that way.
Yeah.
But yeah, guys, if you enjoy the show, definitely let us know on Twitter. You can leave a review on iTunes as well. I think they updated it, so it's a little bit easier to leave the review now. You don't got to go to the iTunes store and everything. But that was a fun show. That's it. We're out of here now.
Later, guys.
So thanks for tuning in.